Anthony Franciosa's career nearly ended the moment the police arrived on set. What started as a heated argument quickly turned into a violent altercation. Production shut down, headlines exploded, and overnight, Franciosa wasn't just a rising Hollywood star anymore. He was labeled dangerous. That moment would follow him for the rest of his life, raising a question no one could ignore. Was he a brilliant actor? Or his own worst enemy? Behind the spotlight, Franciosa's story was far more complicated. Born in 1928 in New York's Little Italy, his early life was shaped by instability. His parents separated when he was just a baby, and his father disappeared completely. Raised by his mother without structure or discipline, Franciosa grew up struggling to control his emotions. That lack of control would later define both his performances and his downfall. Before acting, he worked survival jobs: welding, cooking, anything to get by. Acting came almost by accident when he attended a dance class and impulsively auditioned for a play. Surprisingly, he got the role. That single moment changed everything. By the late 1940s, he was performing in New York theater and eventually joined the famous Actors Studio, training under Lee Strasberg. There, he developed a raw, emotional acting style that felt intense and unpredictable. It wasn't polished, but it was powerful. His breakthrough came with A Hatful of Rain, a role so emotionally heavy it stunned audiences. The performance earned him critical praise and launched him into Hollywood. Soon after, he transitioned into film and even received an Academy Award nomination. For a moment, everything was going right, but success came faster than he could handle. Franciosa's temper followed him everywhere. In 1957, at the height of his rising fame, he was jailed after assaulting a photographer. It wasn't an isolated incident. It was the beginning of a pattern. Directors began noticing his unpredictable behavior. Producers saw him as a risk. Even as he starred alongside major names and earned huge salaries, his reputation was quietly collapsing. Roles started slipping away. By the early 1960s, the shift was clear. He was no longer the first choice for leading roles. Hollywood, a system built on reliability, began pushing him out. He moved into television, hoping for a comeback. Shows like The Name of the Game gave him another chance, but history repeated itself. Conflicts on set grew, tensions built, and eventually he was fired. That moment wasn't just another setback, it was confirmation. Talent alone wasn't enough. From that point on, his career never fully recovered. He continued working in smaller roles across TV and film, but the momentum was gone. The star who once stood at the center of Hollywood slowly faded into the background. His personal life followed a similar pattern: multiple marriages, constant instability, and relationships that couldn't survive the same intensity that fueled his acting. Anthony Franciosa passed away in 2006 at the age of 77. Today, he's remembered as both a gifted performer and a cautionary tale. A man whose raw talent brought him to the top, but whose inner struggles kept pulling him back down. Because in the end, the biggest battles in Hollywood aren't always on screen. If you love uncovering the hidden stories behind classic Hollywood legends, subscribe to Classic Hollywood Feuds.